What do Denmark and the United States government have in common? They do not love us as Indigenous people. We are the Indigenous problem that they have to deal with in order to take from us. Ayurunga, Ungalakli Mirunga. I am Ayukasatak. I come from Ungalaklik, both the southernmost Inuit community and northernmost Inuit community here in Alaska. I've had the great honor of getting to travel to Kalaalleq Nunaat, and will be again next month. I'm excited to see many of you while I'm there. I have been observing with deep hurt the shifts that have been happening among our own people in Kalaalleq Nunaat in Greenland over the last several months, even as I'm observing the deep hurt and anxiety and worry that we're experiencing here in the United States. And as I know that you have elections next week and will be faced with making decisions about the future of your country and the direction that you want to go, I just wanted to make a quick video to share some of our experiences from this one Inuk's perspective. I'm one of 180,000 of us, for your consideration as you're thinking about the direction that you want to go. For me, when I have had the beautiful honor of visiting your beautiful land in Kalaalleq Nunaat, I have felt a sense of belonging and connection that is really difficult for me to find even among those in my own homelands. And that's because there on your land, I can see the ways that our ways of life are centered. Our hunting, our fishing, our ability to move with the seasons there, and to speak our language. Here in Alaska, less than a quarter of our people can speak our language. I do not speak Inuit. It's something like 20 to 25% of our people can speak our language, and most of them are over the age of 60. It's just one of many things the United States government, through law and policy, has taken from us as Inuit. And when I'm there among you, I feel a sense of the things that are missing from us here, I can find there, and I feel whole. Likewise, when your beautiful people come here, I know you have a similar experience. I've heard stories of it over and over again, that when you come here and you can experience the awakening of our songs and our dances, the awakening of our spirituality, and speaking of our connection to our ancestors, that also is like a part of you that you have yearned for and longed for, you can find here. And it's when we're together that we can put our puzzle pieces together, the things that are missing from each of us. When we are with each other, we have all of it. I'm bringing this up because if you are to go in a direction that I know is being put forward as a pathway for you, if you go in a direction where Kalaalleq Nunaat comes under the rule of the United States government, you can expect that the things that have been taken from us will likely be taken from you. You can expect that English, the language that I am speaking now, that I think in, will become more centered. You can expect that your ability to hunt, to fish, and gathered is going to be constrained because it's going to be put under a capitalist Western value system that centers other economies than ours. In Alaska, though Alaska Native peoples' harvesting of our fish and our game is something like 2%, a very small percentage of the entire harvest, though our access to harvesting our fish and our game is so small, we are the most highly regulated, and we have to fight the hardest for our right to be able to hunt and fish on our own lands. We have to fight the hardest to ensure that the decisions that are being made about who can hunt, who can fish, when, where, and how much, we have to fight to ensure our voices are even heard in that system. And under that system of mismanagement, our ability to access the salmon, the game, has diminished over time. Some of our relatives in the interior who have been in relationship with salmon since the beginning of time have not been able to fish for their salmon for nearly a decade because there are no fish. This system of mismanagement you can expect to happen because it's centering capitalism and not our relation with ensuring the thrival of our fish and our game. One of the things that I wanted to surface is something that my mother taught me when I was growing into advocacy as a young woman. She told me, Ayo, never forget that when natives fight natives, someone else is winning. You may see this dynamic coming into play among you today. Who benefits when we are pitted against each other as Inuit? I started by saying that one of the things that Denmark and the United States government have in common is that they don't love us. But who does? We do. The conversation changes when we center us, when we are talking about what is the future that we want to have for future generations of Inuit. How do we want them to live? How do we want them to be able to self-determine the future of our people? Do we want them to speak our language? Do we want them to be able to express themselves as Inuit? Do we want them to be the ones that are deciding what happens to us on our own lands? The answer is yes. And so the conversation needs to shift. Right now, so much of our energy, and this is true among us here in the US as well, so much of our energy is oriented around what we're fighting against. My encouragement to us as Inuit is to recenter what it is that we're fighting for. To center love of who we are. To center our responsibility to our future ancestors of Inuit who are coming after us. To center love of us and who we are. Koyanakbak for letting me share with you. There's so much more to say. I just want to encourage that we have everything that we need within us to self-determine. And everything is just finding the pathway to that. Koyanakbak asavakit.